Look, I don't mean wrong, I heard they need a theme song. Execs rejecting me, telling me to dream on. I just wanna make it big and put my team on. Haters say I need a certain flow to lean on, but I ain't with that ish, baby, I don't follow trends. I feel like Orange Cassidy around my best friends. Nothing's forever, so I'm hoping that this thing will last. Irish whip you, then I hit you with that stinger splash. Wildin' when I hit the scene with my new team. Coffin drop from the top like it's routine. I heard you need a lesson, I'ma have your order ready. I'm far from ordinary, got the dark order ready. Entering the ladder match, I need that title shot. There's still an opening, I can take that final spot. Always the same winners, I can make that cycle stop. Face of the revolution, I can make that title pop. This one's for you. Look, I don't mean wrong, I heard they need a theme song. Execs rejecting me, telling me to dream on. I just wanna make it big and put my team on. Haters say I need a certain flow to lean on, but I ain't with that ish, baby, I don't follow trends. I feel like Orange Cassidy around my best friends. Nothing's forever, so I'm hoping that this thing will last. Irish whip you, then I hit you with that stinger splash. Wildin' when I hit the scene with my new team. Coffin drop from the top like it's routine. I heard you need a lesson, I'ma have your order ready. I'm far from ordinary, got the dark order ready. Entering the ladder match, I need that title shot. There's still an opening, I can take that final spot. Always the same winners, I can make that cycle stop. Face of the revolution, I can make that title pop. This one's for you. Look, I don't mean wrong, I heard they need a theme song. Execs rejecting me, telling me to dream on. I just wanna make it big and put my team on. Haters say I need a certain flow to lean on, but I ain't with that ish, baby, I don't follow trends. I feel like Orange Cassidy around my best friends. Nothing's forever, so I'm hoping that this thing will last. Irish whip you, then I hit you with that stinger splash. Wildin' when I hit the scene with my new team. Coffin drop from the top like it's routine. I heard you need a lesson, I'ma have your order ready. I'm far from ordinary, got the dark order ready. Entering the ladder match, I need that title shot. There's still an opening, I can take that final spot. Always the same winners, I can make that cycle stop. Face of the revolution, I can make that title pop. This one's for you. Look, I don't mean wrong, I heard they need a theme song. Execs rejecting me, telling me to dream on. I just wanna make it big and put my team on. Haters say I need a certain flow to lean on, but I ain't with that ish, baby, I don't follow trends. I feel like Orange Cassidy around my best friends. Nothing's forever, so I'm hoping that this thing will last. Irish whip you, then I hit you with that stinger splash. Wildin' when I hit the scene with my new team. Coffin drop from the top like it's routine. I heard you need a lesson, I'ma have your order ready. I'm far from ordinary, got the dark order ready. Entering the ladder match, I need that title shot. There's still an opening, I can take that final spot. Always the same winners, I can make that cycle stop. Face of the revolution, I can make that title pop.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the Angle Podcast pre-show, prediction show, the before show, the kickoff show, whatever you want to call it, for AEW Revolution 2021. going down just a few hours from now. But before we get into that, I want to thank Ant Won't Stop, who was the one who just performed his new track. That is AEW Revolution 2021. That is available on iTunes and Spotify, wherever you can download music. Go check out Ant Won't Stop. He creates his own freestyle raps for pay-per-views. Go follow him at Ant Won't Stop on social media, and you will see more of his hit song, AEW Revolution 2021, later on in the show. And for those content creators who want to join and do something similar as to what I did with Ant Won't Stop, get in contact with me. I want to work with more creators, not just wrestling podcasts, but if you write music, if you are a rapper, if you are an artist, a digital graphic designer, I want to get involved with a lot more people outside of wrestling to help them build their platform, build within their community, within our wrestling community, right here on the live streams. And that's exactly what I did with Ant Won't Stop. So thank you, Ant Won't Stop. Follow him at Ant Won't Stop on Twitter. Stream his new song, AEW Revolution 2021, on Spotify and iTunes. Now, like I said, welcome to the Angle Podcast, AEW Revolution 2021 pre-show. I'm your host, Joey Karni. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below. Stay up to date with all the Angles activity right here on YouTube, and you can follow me on all social media platforms. You can see them listed under the AEW Revolution logo. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at The Angle Radio. Newly on TikTok, and of course right here on YouTube at The Angle Podcast. Now, there are a lot of matches going down tonight for AEW Revolution. I want to jump into one specific one, and that is the buy-in match. We have Rio and Thunder Rosa taking on Britt Baker and Reba, who actually wants to be known now as Rebel. So it will be Rio and Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker and Rebel. This match has the potential to be one of the best matches on the entire card, despite being on the buy-in pre-show type thing that AEW does. Rio and Thunder Rosa had a phenomenal match in the Women's Eliminator Tournament. We've been seeing some great matches from Britt Baker as of late. We saw her match with Nyla Rose in her feud with Thunder Rosa. So there is a lot of potential in this match. I'm excited to see it. This type of match was featured on the buy-in show a couple of AEW pay-per-views ago, and it became so popular. There became so much buzz around this women's match that they actually added it to the main card. So there's a lot of buzz around the AEW's women's division as of late. I know there's been a lot of negativity regarding the AEW women's division, but right now there's a lot of potential that this match can be one of the best matches on the card. Without a doubt, like I said, Reba or Rebel and Britt Baker have been putting on phenomenal matches as of late. Rio has the experience of being a women's world champion. Thunder Rosa has experience being a women's world champion, formerly the NWA Women's Championship. I think that Rio and Thunder Rosa are going to somehow work together because of the great match that they put on recently. They're going to work together to get the win over Britt Baker and Reba. Like I said, this match has potential to be one of the best matches on the card. Thunder Rosa, we don't know where she's going to go after tonight. We know at the end of March, we're going to have the return of NWA. They're coming back on Fight TV, and we know that Thunder Rosa is a part of the NWA women's roster. We don't know if she's actually signed, or if someone in the chat knows if she actually is signed to AEW, or if she's just on a per appearance basis, so she can go back to NWA. We're not sure, and I think if that's the case, there is a lot of back and forth that can be discussed on this match. If she is going back to NWA, they might take some, I guess you could say, push away from her, so she can kind of fade out of AEW, go back to NWA. Now, if NWA is coming back with the potential of working with AEW, maybe we see Britt Baker possibly end up on NWA's women's roster, or somehow transition their feud over to NWA. Maybe The third hour that everyone is discussing that's coming, it's already confirmed. Cody said it in the media call the other day on, I think it was, I don't know what day it was, but on the media call for AEW Revolution, Cody mentioned there's a third hour, not a part of AEW Dynamite, that is coming to TNT. We don't know what the hour is going to be for NWA, so maybe that's the third hour they're referencing, because they're going to be working with NWA. They're going to see AEW talent featured on NWA Power, just like we've seen NWA talent featured on AEW. There's a lot of different back and forth, like I said, we can go and talk about with this match, but I'm not sure. Yeah, like Titan Sean said, we'd love to see Thunder and Britt continue their feud, but maybe put a title on one of them. I mean, there's potential here that we kind of, when AEW's women's division was first built, we kind of thought that it was going to be built around Britt Baker. They were making her seem like she was going to be the star of the show, and that kind of faded out a little bit. But now, with the match she's putting on lately, there's potential that Britt Baker can possibly become the AEW Women's World Champion. Now, I know that there's a women's title match featured on the card, but I'm talking down the line. I always like to talk in future tense. Long-term booking is what us wrestling fans like to talk about. So maybe that's kind of where we go with it. But another match on the card, for that anybody who's just tuning in, we're talking about the buy-in match, Rio and Thunder Rosa taking on Britt Baker and Reba. And I'm going with Thunder Rosa and Rio just because of their experience, both being women's world champions formerly. I think they're going to get the job done tonight. Hold on, let me fix this lighting because I don't know what is happening here. I'm working with natural light here. It is a beautiful day in New York. I'm excited. I've barely had a cup of coffee in the last couple minutes, in the last hour or so. So I'm excited for this pay-per-view, and I hope you are too. Next match I want to talk about, Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor taking on Miro and Kip Sabian. I feel like this feud has been going on forever. Miro debuted in AEW months ago, and ever since he debuted, he has been in this feud, the best man with Kip Sabian. And honestly, I am tired of it. I want it to end. Miro, I believe, has just so much to offer, and I don't think he's there yet in AEW. If I'm being honest, I loved what he was doing in WWE better than what we're seeing him do in AEW. You might like that. You might agree with it. Let me know in the chat if you agree or disagree. But I honestly think that Miro did some better stuff as Rusev in WWE. This match, without a doubt, I have to go with Kip Sabian and Miro. Just because we really haven't seen Miro, get any big moments since he's debuted in AEW. I feel like he's just been used to boost up Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends. And now that one of the Best Friends is out with an injury, Chuck Taylor is kind of stepping in, taking a lot of the heat there for Best Friends, joining forces with Orange Cassidy. I don't know who really is and what is happening. So, Abram Bum is saying hopefully Miro turns on Kip and breaks away from the Best Man stuff. I would hope so. Maybe not break away from Kip Sabian. Maybe instead of turning, he's already a heel, and we don't know if Kip Sabian will be a face, or if or Miro turns on Kip and Miro turns face. We don't know. But I definitely think he needs to get away from the Best Man stuff, because that's kind of putting him in the back of everybody else, where he is a frontline top tier talent where AEW can do some phenomenal things. Raider says hopefully Miro because a Chuck Taylor stalker. Yeah, well, you never know with this AEW booking. But there are a lot of great things that can happen with both of these teams. I'm not sure if Miro and Kip Sabian are a long-term team. Just because we really haven't seen them featured in any type of real tag team things, I guess you could say. But I'm excited to see Miro finally have a big moment tonight. hopefully getting the win. We've seen him lay out Orange Cassidy. If anybody tuned into Dynamite recently, Miro was kind of playing with Orange Cassidy, and then bam, like super kicked him, and it looked like he murdered Orange Cassidy. Yeah, David in the chat says Miro's been spinning his wheels so far, but I think this could be where he takes off a bit with a dominating performance. I agree. I think that this is Miro's opportunity to shine. I think that bringing him in with Kip Sabian maybe wasn't the decision I would have made. I would have liked to see Miro just because Miro's already everybody knows who Miro is from his WWE days. He was also a very well known face on Total Divas, so you could say he's more of a mainstream superstar too. So to bring him in and kind of put him with somebody like Kip Sabian, I don't know if that was the best idea, but it's fun and it's been great. But I definitely think that it's his time to shine, and hopefully he gets a great moment tonight, getting the win for him and Kip Sabian against Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. A match that I'm looking forward to, one of the matches on this card that I'm looking forward to most, is this Casino Tag Team Royale type match that they're having. And there's I believe there's 15 teams listed in this match. And we have Bear Country, Santana and Ortiz, Stu Grayson, Evil Uno from Dark Order, John Silver and Alex Reynolds from Dark Order, Top Flight, Private Party, The Butcher and the Blade. I believe we have Varsity Blondes adding themselves into this match. And we also have, according to Tony Khan, we have Pac and Ray Phoenix joining the fray as well. So there are a lot of great teams that are stepping into the ring for this match. I really haven't had a chance to think about who I would want to see win this match because of the AEW tag team title match we have later on in the show with Young Bucks and MJF and Jericho from the Inner Circle. So I guess if I have to pick a team, based on the odds, I see two teams in there from the Dark Order, which gives them more momentum and more potential to walk away with a win. I would love to see John Silver and Alex Reynolds win this match because I feel like John Silver just has, if you give him a moment, he capitalizes so well, and it just, I don't know, I think everything that's, with John Brody Lee's passing this past year, a few months back, I don't think they really capitalize on the potential of the Dark Order. They might be saving it for a moment like this on a pay-per-view because we know AEW doesn't have pay-per-views every month. But this match is probably the one match out of this whole card that I've had trouble picking a potential winner. So those in the chat who are still watching or who are just joining now, let me know who you think would or is going to win the Casino Tag Team Royale match. Because it's interesting to see all these tag teams. And I love AEW's tag team division. There are so many tag teams, all different tiers. We have, top level tiers like the Young Bucks. We have middle tier. I guess you can say FTR is in there as well. And then you have the lower tier of the stars that they're trying to build, like the Varsity Blondes and the Acclaimed. A lot of different teams in this match that I think have the potential to eventually become AEW tag team champions. But like I said, I'm going to go with John Silver and Alex Reynolds. I think that they have great potential to steal the show, sort of say, in this match. Next up, we have the AEW Women's World Championship match. And that is between Hikaru Shida, who is the champion, and she is taking on Ryo Mizunami, who actually won the Women's Eliminator Tournament. This match, I don't know. I'm excited for it, but I just don't think that wrestling fans in general have enough knowledge on both of these superstars to be completely invested in this match. When was the last time we saw Shida in a match? I'm very confused as how AEW formulates their women's division. I'm a huge fan. They have a lot of great stars, but I'm just not sure. When Ryo was champion, she barely competed, and then when she lost the title, she went away for a while. Same thing with Nyla Rose. And I'm always confused with Nyla Rose because they build her up so well, like she's going to be the champion or she's going to get an opportunity, and then she just loses. And like a top tier athlete with her size and her dominance, Nyla Rose, especially being paired with Vicky Guerrero, you would think she'd be dominating everybody, being in every title match. And she can do it because she's so great in the ring. But of course, they want to give new opportunities to different superstars. So that is great as well. But I think this match is going to be one of those lengthy bell-to-bell matches. But in the end, Hikaru Shida is going to retain her AEW Women's World Title. I mean, there's not much more to say about this match. The Women's Eliminator Tournament was phenomenal. I loved the inclusion of different countries and happening on different days and different platforms. It was really cool just to see that all play out, not just on Dynamite every week, not just on Dark, but everywhere. I mean, AEW is just building content everywhere, and I love to see it. I see Brian in the chat. Who do you think the mystery signing is? I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. I want to just go over a few of these matches, and we are definitely going to be talking about, because there's a lot of rumors going around now that we're only just a few hours away from AEW Revolution. Who that mystery signing is going to be that Paul White is going to be introducing to the AEW audience, signing a multi-year deal. It's going to be great. I'm excited just to see who it is, because it could literally be anybody, and there's so much anxiety and excitement about it. And I have a few questions and rumors I want to talk about when we get to that. But I want to talk right now about the Face of the Revolution ladder match. The winner of this match will be competing for the AEW TNT Championship this upcoming Wednesday on AEW Dynamite. It was said on AEW Unrestricted. Tony Khan himself announced the winner will be facing Darby Allin on Wednesday on Dynamite for the TNT Championship. So the winner of this match better get their ducks in a row and get prepared for Dynamite on Wednesday, because this is going to be a phenomenal match. The first time, I think, I don't even know if we ever had. Those in the chat, let me know. Have we had a ladder match in AEW yet? Because I don't think so. I'm not sure. And actually I was thinking about that a few weeks ago. AEW is doing all these, spectacular stipulation matches, these gimmick matches, but I really haven't seen anything like a ladder match yet. So I'm excited that they're finally involving ladder matches, especially for an opportunity like this. This kind of reminds me, for those who don't understand the concept, the winner of this match, they reach up, grab the brass ring, and they compete for the TNT title. It's kind of like the Money in the Bank briefcase, the Money in the Bank contract match for those who watch WWE or who are a fan of WWE. We have Cody Rhodes, Scorpio Sky, Penta El Zero, Nero, we have Lance Archer, we have Max Caster, and we have a name to be announced. There is a sixth member of this match who has yet to be announced. Tony Khan said on AEW Unrestricted, the sixth member of this match is not the major signing they're going to have on in the show. Two separate surprises. So I'm excited to see who they're going to be involving in this match. Those in the chat, who do you think is going to be the sixth member of the AEW Revolution, Face of the Revolution ladder match to win a shot for the TNT title? I have a feeling that it may be Shawn Spears. I'm not sure. He just returned on Dynamite. But it also might be a face that we haven't seen yet. We know that AEW has a tendency to utilize these moments for new signings. We've seen it done with Brian Cage. We've seen it done with other superstars as well. So it may be a face that we already know, but because they have the new signing coming later in the night, maybe this will just be someone who's returning from injury or something, or just coming back to action like Shawn Spears. So yeah, whoever wins this match will be facing Darby Allin on AEW Dynamite this upcoming Wednesday. A very interesting and significant point I have to elaborate on. Tony Khan said on AEW Unrestricted that whatever happens with the street fight with Darby Allin and Sting tonight, if Darby Allin cannot compete and defend his TNT title on Wednesday, he will be stripped. He will be stripped of the TNT title. And I believe he said that for a reason, because they wouldn't just announce something like that. So this street fight has to be something that's going to be very, very intense and brutal for Tony Khan to say that. He discussed as to why he made that announcement. So, for those of you who are just tuning in, we're talking about the Face of the Revolution ladder match, where the winner faces Darby Allin on Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday on AEW Dynamite for the TNT title. Tonight as well, Darby Allin is teaming with Sting to take on Team Taz in a street fight. Tony Khan said this is a personal matter. This is nothing to do with the TNT title. So that is all on Darby Allin. He chose to be in this match. He chose, he made all these decisions. He has to defend the title on Wednesday, despite if he can or not. But if he can't, the title will be stripped. So that is a very interesting part. And I think that will play somewhat into the show tonight. So we have to just keep our eyes and ears open for that. So I'm looking in the chat now. A lot of people are talking about who they think is going to be the mystery Hall of Fame worthy. And I have to kind of talk about this a little bit because on AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, I live tweet the shows, and I could have swore Paul White said a Hall of Fame. This person is already a Hall of Famer, and I was corrected. It is a Hall of Fame worthy superstar. So for those of you tuning in, we're talking right now about the mystery signing, the major wrestling superstar that is signing a multi-year deal with AEW tonight at AEW Revolution. A lot of people are suggesting huge names like Brock Lesnar, CM Punk. There's Christian Cage. And I want to kind of talk about all of those names right now. So the biggest name, the biggest free agent in the world of, and I actually have a list here of free agents in 2021. So I'm going to discuss the biggest ones that I think that could be potentially the one to make this big, shocking signing tonight for Revolution. So I think the biggest name we have to discuss is Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, at the end of the day, although he is a fighter, sorry, I have something in my eye. Although he is a fighter, he is a businessman. He doesn't fight for free, and when he fights, he makes sure it's something meaningful. I honestly don't think, being a businessman, that Brock Lesnar would sign anywhere else besides WWE. And now the natural light is leaving, and now I look like a carton of milk. So let me just fix this lighting here. I'm not sure what's happening. There we go. So at least it's somewhat better. Yeah, so I don't think that Brock Lesnar is going to be the one to sign with AEW. I'd be shocked if that was to happen. But then again, Paul White, formerly known as Big Show, jumped ship too. So all cards are really off the table here. There's no such thing anymore as a WWE lifer. We've seen years ago Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff jump to TNA to compete against WWE. We've seen people do it before with WCW and ECW and all those shows way back when. And I'm glad that we get to see it happen again, with this generation of pro wrestling. The evolution, I guess you can say, of AEW. A lot of people in the chat, I want to read right now what everybody's saying. So for those in the chat, who do you think will be the mystery signing? I see, let's see. I see Ethan Page. That could be a great addition. I see that Titantron said maybe Ethan Page or RVD. I could see Ethan Page being the sixth member of the TNT, of the Face of the Revolution ladder match. That could be an interesting factor. See Ethan Page sign with AEW and go into that match as a sixth member. Tony Khan also has said that the person that is making this multi-year deal or signing this multi-year deal with AEW is someone he looked up to. So I'm assuming, and then they said, Paul White said Hall of Fame worthy. So I'm assuming it's a legend in the professional wrestling world that is a free agent. Now that there are rumors and reports going on right now that Christian, also known as Christian Cage, from his TNA days, Impact days, that his talks with WWE fell through, that they couldn't come to an agreement. And honestly, I don't see Christian being the one to go sign with AEW just because Edge is back in WWE. And I don't think that they would not capitalize on maybe doing something with Edge and Christian, either as a team or competing against each other. I think there's just too much potential to make a lot of money there. And at the end of the day, these guys and women are all businessmen and women. They're going to do what's best for business, sort of say. And I don't think that Christian would necessarily walk away for an opportunity to do something so big now that him and Edge are both actually able to compete once again. Now let's see what the chat says. RVD is a great pick. I mean, last time that I spoke with RVD, I interviewed him last summer or this past summer, and he was still signed to Impact. And he talked about that if he also says he is a businessman. For the right price, he'll go, to where he wants to go. And if you look at the roster for AEW, there's a lot of former ECW talent. A lot of people that RVD is good friends with. So it can be RVD. I think that RVD would fit very, very well in AEW, especially with Katie Forbes. If you were a fan of his stuff with Impact Wrestling, there's a lot of rated R stuff going on with RVD and Katie Forbes. I don't think that that's what we would see if he signed with WWE. You kind of know what you're getting with RVD if he signs with WWE. And I think he just evolved so much from his WWE days that, he's at an age now that he wants to do what he wants to do. So I think AEW would be the best fit for him to do what he wants to do with his girlfriend, Katie Forbes. Now, someone's saying, let's see, Diego says Joey Styles. I don't think it's Joey Styles, just because Joey Styles, if you go look at Joey Styles' Twitter handle or his Twitter account, excuse me, he hasn't tweeted or been anywhere on social media since like 2016. So I don't think it's Joey Styles. I don't think that we will see Joey Styles in wrestling again, to be honest with you. I don't think it's Joey Styles. Bubba Ray or Bully Ray. Bubba Ray is already a WWE Hall of Famer, and this name is supposed to be a Hall of Fame worthy superstar. So I don't think that kind of takes out Kurt Angle's name. That takes out Mark Henry's name. That takes out Bully Ray's name. And a few other names. Anybody in the chat want to throw some names out there? New Jack. New Jack would be the day. They do this huge announcement. Paul White's in the ring, and it's New Jack. But I also want to elaborate on a point, too. They keep saying that it's going to be Paul White who's making this announcement. It's his scoop, and he's going to do it, blah, 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 blah. Think about who can come in and do something with Paul White. Automatically, I think of Brock Lesnar. But like I said before, I don't think... I could see it being... like, let's just... hypothetically speaking, I don't think it's going to be Brock. But if it was to be Brock signs with AEW, goes down the ramp. Paul White's in the ring, trying to fill his new role now. Brock signs the papers, the contract, and then F5's Paul White on AEW television. That would be massive, So I think it has to do with whatever's going to be going down tonight. It involves Big Show. Or, sorry, I can't keep saying Big Show. I think it's going to involve Paul White. New Jack. That's actually really funny that someone said New Jack. There's a lot of different names that could be signed. We have Christian, Lesnar, RVD. Let's talk about CM Punk. A lot of people were saying CM Punk. CM Punk came out and said it's not him. Could it be him? Absolutely, it can be him. We've seen Punk was, I think, a few weeks ago or something like that. Punk was training in a ring. I think it was Stephen Amell. He was training with him in the ring, and he had longer hair. Like, he grew his hair out. I thought then when I saw that photo that maybe he was training for an in-ring return. Apron Bum says, honestly, I think it'll just be Mark Henry, and he'll join the commentary team in AEW Elevation. When they first announced this, Kyle, I honestly thought it was going to be, I thought it was Mark Henry, because Big Show is such a great friend They're great friends in real life. Paul White and Mark Henry. But Mark Henry just, I don't know. He's a full-blood WWE guy, and he's one of those different types of loyal. Where I don't think he's going to leave WWE, especially being a part of Busted Open with Dave LaGreca, a great show on SiriusXM, one of the best wrestling shows to listen to. So I don't think that it's going to be Mark Henry. What is happening with this lighting? Oh my. Here we go. We're back. We're back in action. A little blurry. There we go. So like I said, there's a lot of names that can be brought up. I love, I'm looking at the chat now. I love the Titantron's choice that Ethan Page will be signing with AEW. I would love to see Ethan Page involved with the Face of the Revolution ladder match. That would be an amazing, amazing get for AEW. As far as it comes to the major signing for AEW tonight, freaking anybody. So let me look at the list now of free agents that it could possibly be. Let's see. Someone told me the other day that maybe it's Enzo Amore from WWE, now known as Enzo. It could be Chris Hero, Chris Masters. Let's see, Curtis Axel. Joe Henning, that would be a great get. I would love to, honestly, I would love to see Joe Henning, Curtis Axel in NWA. It would just be a phenomenal get. Davey Boy Smith Jr., that's a big get too for anybody who gets them. There's rumors that he's signing again with WWE. When I interviewed TJ Wilson, Tyson Kidd in December, he kind of touched on how he's been trying to get for like 10 years to get Davey Boy to come back to WWE, and we talked about that a little bit. So that'd be cool to see too. Let's see. James Storm, I think he's kind of doing stuff right now with Impact. Let's see. So someone said Lars Sullivan. I hope not. Marty Scurll, and I hope not. Michael Elgin, I hope not. Rob Van Dam is up there. Sabu is up there. Trevor Murdoch, he is, I think he's with NWA. Zicky Dice. Zicky Dice can also be another get for AEW. He could be the one in the ladder match as well. Let's see. I'm trying to read some of the chat. Yeah, Titantron says Mark Henry was just on a WWE social media post, so I don't think it's him. I don't think it is either. I was reading the other day that Mark Henry is one of those stars who signed a 10-year deal with WWE. I'm not sure when, but I think it's still in place that he is signed with WWE. Plus, he's always promoting WWE, and with his recent drama with Ryback, he was backing WWE and talking a lot about WWE. So I don't think it's Mark Henry who signed. But then again, Paul White was just at Legends Night earlier this year, so it could be. If I had to take a guess, honestly, it's hard. It's hard to pick a name because there's so many. And by the way, it's not Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is already a WWE Hall of Famer. I think that because his name got so much... Let me explain to you why Kurt Angle's name is being brought up right now. He just posted a teaser video of him getting, in shape, putting a singlet on, getting ready. Oh, I just smacked my microphone. Getting ready to get back in the ring. Any smart businessman would have done the same thing. And let me explain to you why. AEW says they're signing a major name. Someone says, it's going to be Kurt Angle. And you know how the IWC community is. If we just look back to what happened with Kyle O'Reilly over the last month, where someone put out a post saying he had a seizure, and everyone jumped on it, and everyone got worked because he actually didn't have a seizure. It was just part of the show. It was a work. And it was just someone starting a rumor that just blew out proportion. And I think that's exactly what happened with Kurt Angle as well. So what he did was he jumped on the bandwagon with all this buzz around his name, put a teaser out saying that he's, putting a singlet on and said to be continued. Maybe it's just to promote his podcast. which, by the way, his handle is the Angle Pod, and I don't know why, because it's the Kurt Angle Show. So why wouldn't it be the Angle Show? I get a lot of people, by the way, tweeting at me, talking to me about Kurt Angle's podcast, thinking that it's my show. It's not. I am the Angle Podcast, but his handle is the Angle Pod. So Kurt Angle, if you're watching or listening, or any of your reps are watching or listening, we should probably take care of that, because it works for me, but it doesn't work out for you. It gets people to view my show. So honestly, I'm okay with it. But yeah, Kurt Angle jumped on. He utilized that opportunity with all that buzz around his name, and maybe he is preparing for an in-ring return. I spoke to Nick Aldis earlier this year. I believe it was like February I spoke to him. And he said his top 2 picks to join NWA Power would be CM Punk and Kurt Angle. Maybe we see Kurt Angle go over NWA now that they're coming back this month with on Fight TV. You never know. There's a lot of different... Kyle says could see Kurt in NWA. Absolutely. I think that would be the best fit for him. Same thing with Joe Henning, Curtis Axel. I don't think that he's going to be going to AEW. If he goes anywhere, NWA, just because of his type of in-ring style. Let's see here. I'm kind of thrown off because AEW didn't give so many details regarding who this major signing is. You know, it could be freaking Hulk Hogan, and I know people will laugh at that, but it could be someone they just use as an ambassador, or like a Mick Foley or something. They never said it was someone who's going to get in the ring and compete. They just said it's a major signing. Yes, Kyle. Joey Karni versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. Twitter handle on a pole match. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But then again, if it's for WrestleMania, Kurt Angle's already retired. So it'd have to be in another company. Let's do it in AEW. Let's do it in AEW. By the way, for those watching, AEW Revolution 2020, last year's show, was the top-rated wrestling event of the entire year. I don't know who's deciding these things, but just like they said Tony Khan was the Booker of the Year and whatever of the year, all these awards, I don't know who's doing it, but Revolution was rated the top of wrestling event of the year. So tonight there is a lot of potential with these matches. And I want to continue talking about these matches because I think I just spent like 15-20 minutes talking about who this potential signing is going to be. My pick, hold on, I can't even breathe. That's how excited I am. I can't even talk. And usually I can just talk to myself for hours, but I can't do that right now. If I'm going to go out on a limb and pick any pro wrestler in the world who's going to be signing, the way that they marketed this announcement is that it's a major name, and there's, you know, not a slap to anybody here, but if it's RVD or Christian or, you know, those are not the biggest names in wrestling right now. They're legends. Don't get me wrong, they're legends, soon to be Hall of Famers, but they're not the buzz right now in pro wrestling. So that leads me to think it's either Lesnar or Punk. And you know what? I said before, no way in hell it's Lesnar. Listen, maybe it is Lesnar. Maybe he signs for 2 years. Who knows? They said it's a multi-year deal. But what I see happening right now, I'm going to go on a limb here to say, Joey Karni, believe that the superstar, this big wrestling superstar, to sign on the dotted line tonight, a multi-year deal with AEW, I'm going to say CM Punk. I just think that he's punking us out by putting all these reports out saying it's not him. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time before he gets back in the wrestling ring. I know he says it all the time. He says he hates wrestling, blah, 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 blah. You know, he's signed to do WWE Backstage. Yes, I see David Smith says Nick Aldis would be a nice signing for AEW. He would. And when I spoke to him, he actually said that the reason why he hasn't signed with AEW is because there's so many big names there that somebody has to be dropped down to a mid card or whatever. And he's in this for the long term, the long haul, and he thought that NWA needed him more, which is why he went there and they built the company around him. So kudos to Nick Aldis. I would love to see him anywhere, but I think right now best fit for him is NWA. Tintron says, but Khan at the top promoter last year is a stretch, would make sense for this year, if anything. I agree. AEW's been killing it this year. Tintron says also, imagine if this is a troll and we are all going to too in detail for this, LOL. You know what? Honestly, I thought about that too. Like, what if it's just like, what if it's like, someone said, what if it's Big Show himself? What if it's Paul White just like announcing his own signing? Like, he's actually going to sign on the dotted line. Because we don't know if he signed yet. We don't know. It could just be Big Show announcing his own signing. David F says, what if CM Punk is the 6th entry in the ladder match? It's kind of his type of match. Yeah, but at this point of his career, I don't want to be, messed up to say this, but I think he's above that at this point. I think he jumps right into the main event like a John Moxley type thing. And Ant Won't Stop says CM Punk going for the TNT title would be whack. Yeah, I think he's just above that, and it'd throw a lot of people off if that's the case. But he could be the signing. We don't know. It could be something like. Think about it. You have to look at it. Like, I was doing research to look for names that I'm like big wrestling superstars who are not signed that I'm missing. Like, I feel stupid because I'm missing something, but I'm not. I think they're just trolling us. It's someone who we think it is, like a Punk or a Lesnar, and we're just finding ways. We're overthinking it, saying, no, it can't be them. It can't be them. They're a WWE lifer. They're retired. They're this. They're that. All we know is that a major wrestling superstar is signing a multi-year deal with AEW tonight. We know that the superstar is a Hall of Fame worthy superstar, which takes a lot of names off the table. Kurt Angle, Mark Henry, Bully Ray, Bubba Ray Dudley, whatever you want to call them. Those names are already WWE Hall of Famers. They're not Hall of Fame worthy. They already are. So those names are off the table. So that leaves a Brock Lesnar, a CM Punk, a Christian, an RVD. I really can't think of any other names that are Hall of Fame worthy right now who we're missing, who are still around in wrestling. Besides, I don't know. There's a lot of big names. So my pick is, I'm going with CM Punk. Let's continue these matches. There's a few more matches I want to discuss on this pre-show, on this prediction show. If you're just tuning in right now, I'm your host, Joey Karni. This is the Angle Podcast prediction and pre-show for AEW Revolution, all going down in a few hours from now. We are live on YouTube. If you haven't already, like and subscribe down below. Follow all the social media. I myself will be live tweeting the entire event tonight. For those of you who know me, you know that I tweet hella content during these shows. And if you're just meeting me for the first time, thank you for coming to check me out here and follow along as I tweet along the show tonight. Big money match. We have Big Money Matt Hardy taking on Hangman Adam Page. What is a big money match? I'll tell you exactly what it is because it was discussed on AEW Restricted. Tony Khan said that this match is basically both men are throwing money in a pot. Winner takes the money. Big money match. That's what it is. Hangman Adam Page. Matt Hardy. This match, underrated. Am I interested in Matt Hardy anymore? No way. No chance in hell. I just have no interest in anything Matt Hardy is doing. I think the biggest moment he had there was two. One, his debut in AEW. Two, the dive he took with Sammy Guevara off the ladder when he smashed his head into the floor. In the stadium Stampede match. Those were his biggest moments. Since then, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Yes, David Smith says, yeah, please, Lord, let it be a CM Punk. I hope it is. He also said RVD doesn't have much left wrestling ability. Depends on if he's a part-timer. He could do some great stuff. He was doing some stuff in Impact, but it's definitely not what he used to do. So any of these names, they're obviously not going to be what they were 10 years ago. Let's be honest here. But yeah, we're talking about right now the big money match. Hangman Adam Page, one of the best, and I don't care what anybody says. We're gonna talk. Let's be real here. Hangman Adam Page was probably the biggest up and coming talent AEW signed when they first came into commission. He was the first one of two competitors to compete for the AEW World Championship when it was first inaugurated. When Jericho won that, he is a former tag team champion. He's been in a lot of great matches. Hangman Adam Page is very underrated, and I think they're just waiting for his time in AEW. Matt Hardy, Big Money Matt, one of the best, one of the greatest legendary performers who are still wrestling today. And by the way, Matt Hardy has not lost a AEW pay-per-view match yet. He is undefeated at AEW pay-per-views. So that could be pointing to things for tonight. I think who needs this match more? Who needs the match more? Let's be honest. If you're in the chat, please tell me. Who do you think needs this win more? Matt Hardy or Hangman Adam Page? David says, Hangman has to win, otherwise he'll slip back into the woe is me routine he's been doing for way too long. I agree. I think that he needs to do something big here. I think who needs the win more? Hangman Adam Page. I think he needs to win more. I think that there's more to use. Hangman Adam Page, wow, has more to give right now than Matt Hardy does. I'm not invested in Matt Hardy anymore. I'm just really not. I'm a fan of Matt Hardy. I'm a lifelong fan of Matt Hardy. Just not a fan of what he's doing in AEW. So this match, without a doubt, I'm gonna have to go with Hangman Adam Page getting the win, slipping out a win against Big Money Matt Hardy. One of the matches I'm looking forward to most on the show, the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The champions, the Young Bucks, taking on the Inner Circles, Chris Jericho and MJF. By the way, on AEW Dynamite, anybody who watched it over the last few weeks, MJF, Jericho annihilating, what was his name? Calling him Turkey Hips or something like that. Conrad Thompson. Calling him Turkey Thighs or Turkey, something like that. Some hysterical name. Just ripping him apart. That was fantastic. Let's see in the chat here. Okay. So we have the AEW World Tag Team title match. Young Bucks, MJF, Jericho. MJF and Chris Jericho taking out Papa Buck. How do you do that? He's an old man. Blooding him up backstage AEW. But it is true. If it wasn't for Papa Buck, we wouldn't have the Young Bucks. If we didn't have the Young Bucks, we wouldn't have All Elite. If we didn't have All Elite, we wouldn't have AEW. Very simple. So, very significant. Turkey tits. That's what it was, Kyle. Thank you. Apron bump. Turkey tits. That's what it was. What did I say? Turkey thighs or something? I don't know. Maybe I'm just hungry. I don't know. Turkey tits. Conrad Thompson by MJF. If it wasn't for Papa Buck, we wouldn't have any of this. So, significant point when Jericho and MJF took out and beat down and bloodied the father of the Young Bucks. But tonight, I think this match is probably one of the most predictable matches on the show, despite being one of the most talked about matches on the show. I think that the Young Bucks are going to retain against MJF and Jericho, and there's only one reason why, and it's two words, and it's a name, and that is Sammy Guevara. I think Sammy Guevara is going to return tonight, cost MJF the match, cost Jericho the match, and they're going to continue their story with Sammy Guevara leaving the Inner Circle. And the Young Bucks move on to something else, the winner of tonight's Casino Tag Team Royale match, which I hope is someone from the Dark Order. John Silver and Alex Reynolds, hopefully. But yeah, this match, great chemistry with all these guys. It's going to be a great match. A lot of potential to be one of the most talked about matches. But I think Sammy Guevara is going to get involved and cost Jericho and MJF. Young Bucks are going to walk out champions. Still, retain the AEW World Tag Team Championship. We have the street fight. Sting and Darby Allin taking on Team Taz, Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks coming off one of the biggest... He came from NWA and was one of the biggest stars there. For those of you who weren't invested in NWA before they closed down due to COVID last year, Ricky Starks was holding a title there. He was one of the top prospects there. He was doing some phenomenal things. Comes over to AEW, gets involved with Team Taz. Darby Allin is just one of the best superstars AEW has to offer. Sting is coming out of retirement tonight. This is a huge, huge moment. Sting back in a wrestling ring, bell to bell. Cody Rhodes on a media call said that he believes this Sting can go full blast here. I think he's going to. I think we're going to see a lot of great things from Sting. I was reading some comments earlier this week. Someone said maybe Darby Allin turns on Sting and then they start a feud. I don't think that's the case. I think that from what Tony Khan said, the winner of the Face of Revolution ladder match, they will face Darby Allin on Wednesday for the TNT title. So I think that we're not getting a Sting Darby Allin feud just yet, if we are, ever. We're going to get Darby Allin versus the winner of that match. So I think that this match, we're going to see Sting and Darby Allin get a win over Team Taz. Although Team Taz needs a win because Brian Cage is drowning. Ricky Starks is drowning. If it wasn't for Taz and his mic skills elevating that team, I don't know where they would be, but they are drowning. Brian Cage is probably the biggest guy they have in AEW, and he has like the least amount of wins. This guy is a wrecking ball. He's a wrecking machine, and he just, oh my God, I had an idea. I just had an idea because I said wrecking ball, huge guy, the big guy. What if the big major signing is Ryback? Has anybody talked about that yet? I don't think so. I interviewed him recently, over the last couple months or so. He talked about how he'd love to go to AEW. He just finished his stem cell surgeries. He's pretty much ready to go. What if it's Ryback? I know a lot of people are just not fond of Ryback, but I am a huge fan of Ryback and his work. I think that holy crap, it could be Ryback. What if it is Ryback? Wow. I just shocked myself. It could be Ryback. Just think about that. The huge name signing with AEW tonight. Multi-year deal. Hall of Fame worthy. Ryback is 110% Hall of Fame worthy. Even if WWE doesn't allow him in. Which is probably why they said that. It could be Ryback. And maybe he takes out Big Show. Or he takes out Paul White. I appreciate that. Ant Won't Stop. If you are watching live right now, hit the like button. Let's show love to the Angle Podcast. I appreciate that. And those of you in the chat, or everybody who's watching, Ant Won't Stop. You're going to see his new hit track, AEW Revolution 2021, at the end of the stream. He is a great, great content creator. He writes freestyle raps. Go check him out at It Won't Stop on social media. Go listen to the song. It's on YouTube. I tagged in the description the link to his YouTube channel. Go listen on iTunes and Spotify. Great track, AEW Revolution, talking about the entire card and all the matches going down tonight. So I appreciate that. It Won't Stop. If you haven't, subscribe down below. Tons of more content coming. This Tuesday, I'm releasing an interview with the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander from Impact Wrestling. Why did I just say that? Formerly with North. I know we were talking about Ethan Page before. His former tag team partner, Josh Alexander. Huge interview with him coming out on Tuesday. Yeah, so like I said, thanks, Ant Won't Stop. You're going to see his track again at the end of the stream. So we're talking about the street fight, Sting, Darby Allin, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks. Without a shadow of doubt, I think Sting and Darby Allin are going to win tonight. Sting, coming out of retirement, I think his last match was against Seth Rollins for WWE years ago already. And it's a street fight, so anything can go. We're going to see the bat used. We're going to see the skateboard used. We're going to see blood. We're going to see guts, maybe. I don't know. But Sting and Darby Allin are definitely going to win this street fight. Now, regarding blood and guts, the AEW Revolution 2021 main event, it's an exploding barbed wire death match. The AEW World Heavyweight Championship. The champion Kenny Omega defending against Jon Moxley. This match we haven't seen in years in the United States. I think this match is going to be brutal. It's going to be gross. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be everything that we want it to be. Jon Moxley has, let's see. David Smith says, will Jon Moxley be going on paternity leave after tonight? You know, that's possible. And I kind of think so because Renee is going to be having a baby. Renee Young to WWE fans, all wrestling fans. I would probably think that Jon Moxley is going to be leaving tonight for a little while. Like David said, go out with a bang. No way. Diego says, no way is Omega losing. No way. I think that Omega has too many friends around him right now. Don Callis, the Good Brothers, Young Bucks, I could say. A lot of people around him right now to prevent him from losing. So I know Kenny Omega posted the rules for tonight's exploding barbed wire death match. I don't know what the rules are exactly. Someone in the chat can maybe look those up and let us know. Or tag me on Twitter and I'll share it. But what I do know is that the ring ropes, are going to be wrapped in barbed wire. And there's going to be explosives throughout the ring. And when they hit certain things, they're going to activate. And we're going to see blood and guts. And I think tonight we're going to see Kenny Omega get the win, retain his AEW World title. And Jon Moxley is going to head out the door for a little while. Go have a baby with Renee. Go enjoy Las Vegas. Go enjoy life. Come back fresh, looking better than ever, and maybe become champion again. But tonight, I just think that Kenny Omega is just doing too many spectacular things, and he's too strong right now to lose that title. So Jon Moxley, I love you, brother. I know I get references all the time. When I used to have a beard, I look like Jon Moxley or Dean Ambrose in WWE. But tonight is just, it's going to be an Omega night. So let me start down from the bottom of the card again. We'll talk about all the matches we discussed. Buy-in match, Rio and Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker and Reba. Going now as Rebel. I'm going to go with Rio and Thunder Rosa. Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor versus Miro and Kip Sabian. I'm going with Miro and Kip Sabian. Tonight is Miro's night. He's finally getting that big moment he very well deserves. The Casino Tag Team Royal match, I'm going with Dark Order. I would say John Silver and Alex Reynolds, but we also have Stu Grayson and Evil Uno. So either one of those teams, there's two teams from the Dark Order involved in this match. There's no way they can't lose. So I'm going with the Dark Order, earning themselves a future AEW Tag Team title match. The AEW Women's World Championship match, Hikaru Shida defending against Ryo Mizunami. Ryo is going to retain this match, although it's not one of the matches I'm looking forward to most. I still think this one's going to go belt to belt. It's going to be a lengthy match. It's going to be fantastic, and it's going to do justice for the AEW Women's Division. Face of the Revolution ladder match. Huge match with a lot on the line. We have a 6-member not announced yet. Someone said in the chat, it could be CM Punk. It could be Ethan Page. It could be anybody. I said maybe even Shawn Spears now that he's back. But regardless of who is in that match, I think the winner is going to be... Did I even give a winner for that match? I don't even think I did. I think it's going to be Scorpio Sky. Because I see there's Penta, Archer, Max Caster, Cody. Yeah, I'm going to go with Scorpio Sky. Or the 6th member. We don't know. It might be the 6th member if it's a new signing or if it's a returning superstar. So you know what? I'm going with TBA. I'm going with the 6th entrant that has not been announced yet. Big money match, Hangman Adam Page versus Big Money Matt Hardy. I'm going with Hangman Adam Page. The AEW World Tag Team Championship match, the Young Bucks defending against Chris Jericho and MJF. Sammy Guevara is 120,000% getting involved in this match, costing Jericho and MJF the title. Young Bucks, I'm predicting now, walking away, still AEW World Tag Team Champions. The street fight, the return to the ring. Sting is coming back out. He's coming out of retirement to team with Darby Allin, take on Team Taz, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks. There's no way in hell that Sting and Darby Allin are not winning this match. It's a street fight. We're going to see that bat used. We're going to see the skateboard maybe with thumbtacks used. Whatever we see used, it doesn't matter. Sting and Darby Allin are walking away the victors. The main event tonight, AEW Revolution 2021 with a stacked card. AEW's World Heavyweight Championship match. It's an exploding barbed wire death match. Kenny Omega defends against Jon Moxley. A lot of people saying maybe Jon Moxley leaves tonight. His wife is pregnant. Renee is having a baby very soon. Maybe he goes on paternity leave. I don't know, but whatever it is, Kenny Omega is just too damn strong. He's just too damn good. He's one of the best, if not the best, wrestler in the world. And he's got Don Callis by his side. He's got, Don Callis by his side. So there's no way in hell Kenny Omega is losing tonight. I'd be surprised if it is Jon Moxley, the winner of this match. Kenny Omega is going to be still the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And the big announcement, the major signing that AEW is going to be having tonight. Paul White, future Hall of Fame worthy superstar. It could be Brock Lesnar. It could be CM Punk. It could be Rob Van Dam. It could be Christian Cage. And what I thought about later in the show that nobody's talking about, it could be the big guy, Ryback. I spoke to him. He said he'd be very interested to go to AEW. He's 100% to go. It might be Ryback. He is definitely a Hall of Fame worthy superstar, and I can see him signing a deal. Yes. Yeah, so David says Spears is involved in the Horseman angle. Yeah, but we don't see tonight. Is FTR involved in the tag team Royale match? I don't know if they are. I don't know if they said anything about that. I would assume that they are, so maybe that's where we see them. David says, is AEW going to sign Thunder Rosa to a contract? Should be a huge addition to the AEW women's division. I'm not sure. She's been featured on NWA's return promo content. I think she still is with NWA. So I talked about that at the beginning of the show. Maybe we see NWA and AEW women's divisions kind of joint together because there's a lot of talent in the NWA women's division if they are still signed. We have Allison Kay, Serena Deeb. She's the current NWA women's champion. Melina was in AEW. In NWA. So there is a lot of back and forth names that we could see. Maybe we see Britt Baker go over to NWA, and then we see Thunder Rosa being used AEW. A lot of great things to happen tonight. I'm excited all for it. We're just a few hours away from AEW Revolution 2021. I'm losing my voice just talking because I'm so excited about this match. That pretty much does it. We just discussed everything on the card. We talked about all these potential names. Now that I'm thinking about it, like I said, it could be Ryback, the big guy Ryback, returning to pro wrestling tonight, signing a major deal with AEW. Hall of Fame worthy superstar, 100%. So it could be Ryback, could be CM Punk, could be Brock Lesnar, whoever it is. Whoever it is signing with AEW tonight, I think that we are going to be in store. We have a lot to watch, a lot to look forward to. I'm anxious. I'm sweating. I'm excited. I'm like, I don't know. It's one of those nights in pro wrestling that I feel like it's a big night ahead, and there's a lot to look forward to. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below. Stay up to date with all the Angles activity right here on YouTube. You also have all my social media links there as well. It's at The Angle Radio on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and it's at The Angle Podcast right here on YouTube as well as TikTok. I'm going to be posting a lot more content on TikTok, so stay tuned to that. And also, for those of you who tune into this show, you enjoy the show, you're a fan of The Angle Podcast, you're a fan of me, stay tuned till after AEW Revolution. I'll be doing a full review and post-show, going over the results, giving a full review of the show, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot to talk about, especially with this huge signing AEW has planned. There is so much to look forward to tonight. I'm excited for it. I hope you are too. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I'm your host, Joey Karni. Stay tuned right now for another performance from Ant Won't Stop, performing his new track, AEW Revolution 2021. You can check him out at Ant Won't Stop on social media, or listen to his new track, AEW Revolution 2021, on Spotify and iTunes. Thank you. I will see you all at the end of AEW, at the end of the night, at the end of the night, after AEW Revolution, for the Angle Podcast, AEW Revolution full review and results show. Like always, it's a great time to be a damn pro wrestling fan. Thank you, and I will see you later. Have a good night.
Look, I don't mean wrong, I heard they need a theme song. Execs rejecting me, telling me to dream on. I just wanna make it big and put my team on. Haters say I need a certain flow to lean on, but I ain't with that ish, baby, I don't follow trends. I feel like Orange Cassidy around my best friends. Nothing's forever, so I'm hoping that this thing will last. Irish whip you, then I hit you with that stinger splash. Wildin' when I hit the scene with my new team. Coffin drop from the top like it's routine. I heard you need a lesson, I'ma have your order ready. I'm far from ordinary, got the dark order ready. Entering the ladder match, I need that title shot. There's still an opening, I can take that final spot. Always the same winners, I can make that cycle stop. Face of the revolution, I can make that title pop. Haha.